This is how Titan V8 engines are manufactured. These engines are among the last old-school V8 still sold in modern half-ton trucks. These engines for the Nissan Titan are fully cast, forged, machined, and assembled exclusively at the Decherd Powertrain Plant in Tennessee. Right now, you are watching a factory worker assemble the timing chain. The bottom end is very strong. The crankshaft, connecting rods, and engine block rarely fail. With basic maintenance, these engines often reach 200,000 to 300,000 miles. There are no turbochargers, no high-pressure fuel pumps, and no cylinder deactivation systems. The engine uses timing chains instead of belts, which usually last for the life of the engine. The Nissan Titan uses a 5.6-liter naturally aspirated V8. While most modern trucks have moved to turbocharged V6 engines, Nissan has stuck with a simple, large displacement, naturally aspirated design. These engines are only installed in the Nissan Titan, Titan XD, and Nissan Armada. V8s are reserved for full-size trucks and large SUVs where higher torque and towing capacity are needed. During final assembly, technicians install pistons, rods, cylinder heads, and other internals, then seal the engine and run tests. As part of quality control, each engine undergoes testing, including run-in dyno tests. This ensures reliability and performance before the engines are shipped to vehicle assembly plants. Early 2000s models could experience exhaust manifold cracking, and some years had timing chain guide wear. Fuel economy isn't great. That's the trade-off for this strong engine. Also, accessing the spark plugs can be tricky because of the dual overhead cam layout. The Nissan Decherd Powertrain Plant in Tennessee currently manufactures the 2.5-liter inline 4 for the Altima and Rogue, the 2.0-liter variable compression turbo engine for higher trim Altimas and the Infiniti QX60, the 3.5-liter V6 for the Murano, Pathfinder, and QX60, and the 3.8-liter V6 for the Frontier. This factory is very large, covering hundreds of acres with more than 1.1 million square feet of space for engine and powertrain production. It builds engines and powertrains for many Nissan and Infiniti vehicles, made in the US, including 4, 6, and 8-cylinder engines, as well as electric motors for some models. The plant can produce up to 950,000 engines and 1.3 million crankshafts each year. It also handles key processes like casting, forging, machining, and assembling engine blocks, crankshafts, and other components. Construction of the plant began in March 1995, and production started in May 1997, initially making 4-cylinder engines for cars such as the Nissan Altima. Over the years, the plant has grown. In 2000, it added the ability to machine and assemble 6- and 8-cylinder engines. In 2006, Nissan added large-scale crankshaft forging, including a 6,500-ton forging press, reportedly the biggest in Tennessee. This allows the plant to make crankshafts on site instead of importing them. Later, cylinder block casting was also added. So many core engine parts are now made from raw material to finished parts in one place. By doing casting, forging, machining, assembly, and testing all in one facility, Decherd reduces shipping costs and improves quality control. Today, The plant can make many types of engines, 4, 6, and 8 cylinders, and is also expanded to electric powertrain components. This gives Nissan the flexibility to make gasoline, hybrid, and electric vehicles as needed. Supplying engines to major United States assembly plants in Smyrna, Tennessee, and Canton, Mississippi helps keep supply chains short, meets the demand for vehicles built in America, and reduces the need to ship engines from overseas. As one of the largest private employers in Franklin County, Tennessee, and a major manufacturing hub in central Tennessee, the Decherd plant has contributed a lot to local jobs, the economy, and supplier networks. Decherd is more than a simple assembly plant. It is a fully integrated powertrain facility. Many workers have specialized jobs including casting, forging, machining, final engine assembly, and testing, including running engines under real conditions to check performance. Because of the wide range of work it does, Decherd is often called the largest and most diverse powertrain plant in the United States. The workforce has grown over the years. By the plant's 10-year anniversary in 2007, it had about 1,200 employees building 4, 6, and 8-cylinder engines. The plant doesn't just build traditional gasoline engines, it also makes electric motors for electric vehicles, showing how it has adapted to the shift toward electrification. Decherd is the only Nissan engine production site in the U.S. Every U.S.-built Nissan model that uses a gasoline engine depends on this plant for its powertrain. Unlike many other engine factories, Decherd also performs hot fire testing. Engines are filled with fluids, connected to a stationary dynamometer, and run under load to check compression, timing, noise, vibration, and emissions. Rather than a single belt, there are multiple linked assembly sequences where core engine components travel from station to station. Raw or semi-finished parts arrive at an assembly line and move along conveyors while teams of technicians and automated systems fit, torque, and inspect every module of a powertrain. Decherd uses advanced assembly management tools that provide real-time monitoring and allow engineers to rebalance work, reconfigure stations, and track quality metrics on the fly, which helps reduce waste and maintain consistent build quality as vehicle demand and model mix changes. Independent salary aggregates estimate that production technicians and assembly technicians at Nissan and Decherd earn around $24 to $25 per hour on average. Nissan's plants in Tennessee are not unionized. A government-related report noted that Nissan's U.S. plants are among the few non-union automotive manufacturing facilities in the country. In contrast to unionized plants run by the major U.S. automakers, Nissan workers generally do not have collective bargaining representation through a union. The plant isn't just an assembly line. It includes crankshaft forging and cylinder block casting operations on site. So many critical engine components are manufactured right there rather than brought in from elsewhere. Since the workers here aren't part of the United Auto Workers, they wear red Nissan t-shirts at work. In the mid-2000s, the plant was selected to build 4-cylinder gasoline engines through a partnership with Mercedes-Benz, supplying powertrains for both Infiniti and Mercedes-Benz vehicles, marking the first time Daimler engines were manufactured in North America. Conveyor belts move the engine blocks from station to station. Robotic systems handle heavy or repetitive tasks, such as installing crankshafts, camshafts, and pistons, torquing bolts, and applying gaskets and sealants. Human operators perform precision installations, visual inspections, and quality checks that robots cannot handle, making sure each engine meets Nissan's strict standards. This is the Nissan Frontier manufacturing process. This mid-size pickup truck is carefully built at the Canton Vehicle Assembly Plant in Mississippi, where every step of production is closely monitored to ensure quality. The production process starts with raw materials such as steel, plastics, and other essential components. From there, the materials go through stamping to form body panels, body assembly to put the pieces together, painting to give the truck its color and protection, final assembly to install engines, interiors, and electronics, and finally, a thorough inspection before the truck leaves the plant. This process follows the modern automotive steel-to-wheels approach, turning raw materials into a finished vehicle ready for the road. What you're seeing now is the sealant application stage. Sealant is a chemical material applied to joints, seams, and gaps in the vehicle body. It keeps out water and dust, protects against rust, reduces noise and vibration, and strengthens the truck's structure. After that, automated robots or spray booths apply the base coat, which is the colored paint. A clear coat or lacquer is added on top to protect the color, give a glossy finish, and improve resistance to weather, UV rays, scratches, and everyday wear. On average, it takes around 20 hours to build a Frontier in Nissan's US plants, from the start of assembly to a finished truck ready for shipment. The engines and other powertrain components for the Frontier also come from the Decherd Powertrain Plant in Decherd, Tennessee, which I'll show you later in this video. Together, these two facilities form a key part of Nissan's US manufacturing network. Most of the parts for the Frontier are sourced from North America, which reduces reliance on overseas shipping and improves efficiency and parts availability. By keeping production in the United States, the Frontier avoids import-related tariffs and potential delays in the supply chain, issues that can affect competitors built overseas. This also helps Nissan maintain more consistent quality and availability for American customers. Today I have prepared for you a visit to several American Nissan factories. You can get an idea of the working conditions and compare Nissan with other manufacturers in the United States. This is the Nissan Smyrna Assembly Plant in Tennessee. This is where the latest Nissan Pathfinder is built. The manufacturing process begins with stamping and then welding the individual parts. Unlike most American brands, there is a mandatory dress code in this factory. These workers inspect the welded bodywork for irregularities and scratches. The cabling is easily snapped into the prepared positions. Once the cab of the car is completed, the process called the marriage takes place. This is the joining of the finished engine, chassis, and body of the future Nissan Pathfinder. The underside of the car can be easily accessed by workers thanks to a crane in the factory ceiling. Now the interior of the car will be finished, seats and steering wheel will be added, electronics will be connected, and the doors will be reinstalled after the interior is finished. Now this fifth-generation Nissan Pathfinder, which is a 5-door SUV, is ready and can be delivered to its future owner. Approximately 13,000 employees work at 3 plants in the United States, spanning 42 years of production. The Nissan Frontier was a repackaged Navara until 2021 and became its own model for the North American market in 2022. The Canton, Mississippi manufacturing plant celebrated the production of its 6 millionth vehicle this year. This is what Nissan's door resistance robot looks like. This Nissan door durability robot slams doors 45,000 times to mimic 10 years of use. Daily life is tough on doors. With durability as a core principle, Nissan engineers its vehicles to withstand tough duty cycles. This robot is called Rosie. Rosie is a 1.5-ton door durability robot, and in just 3 days, without need of a coffee break, she opens and closes a door as often as a typical customer would in 10 years. This makes it easy for Nissan's developers to monitor door wear and tear so they can modify the components used during development to better resist wear and tear. Adding the front window is done in a few minutes by 2 employees with the help of a 3rd employee. The glass parts are accurately positioned on the white body using positioning aids and fixtures. But now you're looking at the Nissan Smyrna Assembly Plant, also located in Tennessee. It employs over 8,000 people and produces a staggering 650,000 vehicles a year. It's here, pressing sheet metal to create the cars you see on America's roads every day. The first process of sheet metal processing is cutting the sheet metal into the correct shape and size for processing in the pressing machine. The panels are stamped into the shape of their future use, such as doors, roofs, car hoods, and more. These Nissan factory employees handle the stamped panels wearing Kevlar gloves to ensure safety from sharp edges. The stamped panels are transported by conveyor belt to the employees who check them for any defects and load them onto pallets, which are then transported to the parts warehouse using forklifts. The body panels are made from sheets of either high-strength structural steel or aluminum alloy. From this giant warehouse, the individual parts are then transported to the main assembly hall, where they are assembled together at the designated time to create the car body. Now begins a process called car body assembly. In this part, the molded parts of the Nissan are welded together to form the body of the car. Robotic spot welding joins the body panels together to create a white body. Robots and technicians combine to join the vehicle frame. Employees at this factory wear corporate red t-shirts with the Nissan logo, as well as optional caps and safety glasses. Welding of molded parts is still largely done by hand here, a big difference to more modern factories such as Audi or Mercedes in Europe. The site of this factory complex is over 884 acres, and over $7 billion has been invested. Throughout the United States, Nissan has 4 factories with a production capacity of over 1 million vehicles per year and over 1.4 million engines per year. And now comes the main assembly line. Most of the work here has to be done by human workers. The robots can't yet connect the wiring and other elements of the car. Cars in production are slowly moved around the factory by moving tracks on the floor. Each station has a prescribed number of tasks of what they have to fit to the car and how long it can take them. Production quality inspectors move freely around the factory and check all the work carried out. The entire production process runs 24 hours a day, every day of the week. Employees work in shifts, and as a Nissan employee, you get private health insurance through the AXA insurance scheme. The front dashboard is made in another part of the factory and inserted inside the car in one piece using a robotic bracket. Installation is so quick and easy and can be done by just one Nissan employee. Electric or pneumatic tools such as torque wrenches and torque guns are used. These tools are the main help in adding all the interior components of the car, including the engine of the car. Here comes the quality controller again. However, this inspection is random and does not happen on every car. This is why you may find that your car has a defect. Employees can chat while they work, and there is a relaxed and easygoing atmosphere. Usually. The working environment in this factory is noisy, and some may be bothered by the harsh white lighting. This is also why some employees wear earplugs, production, and the light is needed to make it easy for employees to see their work. The car doors are joined to the bodywork in the welding shop, but are dismantled on the main assembly line. The reason for this is to make it easy for employees to get inside the car. At the end of the assembly line, when the interior of the car is finished, the doors are reattached. The salaries of these employees vary depending on their specific profession, education, and how long they have worked in the factory. The longer, the higher the salary. Although more than 80% of the employees in this factory are men, the percentage of women who work here is growing every year. Also, production of the Nissan Rogue, which is a compact crossover SUV, begins at this Smyrna, Tennessee plant. It also starts in the stamping plant, followed by welding. There are multiple production lines here at once, which is why 5 Nissan models are currently being built here. The Rogue facelift was unveiled on 16 October 2023 for the 2024 model year. It features a redesigned front fascia and rear fascia. The interior gets a 12.3-inch touchscreen with Google built in for the SL and Platinum models. Please let me know in the comments section below if you would enjoy this job, and if anyone who has worked in an automotive factory is watching, please let me know what your experience has been. Logistics are very important in this factory. All components and parts, including screws and other small items, must be in the designated position at the exact time. Each car is made up of tens of thousands of parts, and storage and movement to the main assembly line must be arranged. At the moment, it seems that it will not be possible to replace wiring and all these small activities in car manufacturing with robots anytime soon. Even in Tesla's newest factories, this hasn't been done yet. Employees are guaranteed this employment well into the future. Recalls and investigations have affected only a small percentage of Nissan Altimas overall. Some 2019 to 2020 models were recalled because of engine bearing defects, while suspension corrosion concerns were investigated in certain 2013 to 2018 vehicles. Additionally, warranty extensions were issued following investigations into engine failures. The cars are insured for transport, and upon arrival at the dealership, they will be inspected and polished so that they are displayed in the best possible condition. With proper maintenance, Altimas can reach 200,000 miles and about 2.5% exceed 250,000 miles, a relatively strong longevity figure for non-luxury sedans. Wrapping all fabric parts will greatly help with minimizing damage. These plastic wraps are only removed at the last stage of the manufacturing process. As you can see right now, women can be in almost any position in this factory. Often they don't apply for these jobs because of prejudice, which is a shame. In the second quarter of the year, the Altima was Nissan's third best-selling model with over 30,500 units sold. Only the Nissan Sentra sold more than 35,000 units, and the top-selling Nissan Rogue sold more than 71,000 units. Nissan installs different tires depending on equipment, but ensures good handling, braking, and traction. Now the front bumper of the Nissan is mounted. As you can see, the whole bumper is only screwed on and bolted in a few places. Factory employees use forklifts to assemble the heavier parts, so they don't have to pull heavy things with their own strength. Smyrna Vehicle Assembly Plant, located in Smyrna, Tennessee, is one of 3 plants worldwide that host the production of the Nissan Altima. This large number of people around the car is here because of the celebration. This car is exactly the 6 millionth car of the Nissan Altima model. After quality control and testing, the new Nissan vehicles are loaded onto trucks and delivered to dealerships across the United States. For longer distances, the cars are loaded onto a train at the factory and transported to the far corners of the US. And now, as a bonus for comparison, I'll show you what Nissan Leaf production looks like at the Yokohama factory in Japan. The production process is the same. First, the body parts are molded, followed by welding, then painting. At the same time, the engine is assembled, and finally the main assembly line where the whole car is put together. Finally, there is a quality check in the LED-lit tunnels. As you can see, welding in this Japanese factory is much more automated, and robotization is at a higher level here than in the United States. Nissan USA is the North American headquarters and a wholly owned subsidiary of Nissan Motor Corporation of Japan. The company manufactures and sells Nissan and Infiniti brand cars, sport utility vehicles, and pickup trucks through a network of approximately 1,082 Nissan and 211 Infiniti dealers in the United States, including 187 independent Nissan dealerships, 38 Infiniti retailers, and 45 Nissan commercial vehicle dealers in Canada. Now begins the completion of the trim and finishing of the chassis. Much of the production is similar across Nissan factories. However, the level of robotization in the factories usually corresponds to the period when the factory was built. Therefore, this Japanese factory is more modern because it was not built as long ago as the Nissan factories in the United States. Now you're looking at the shock absorber being added to the chassis just before the chassis is joined to the body of the Nissan Leaf. The connection of the front axle, including the engine, to the car body is solved in no time. Now the Nissan Leaf's electronics are up and running and testing of the lights, turn signals, horn, and more will begin. The test driver will now take the car to the testing laboratory. It should be noted that not every car produced is tested in this way, but only a certain percentage of new cars at random. Here the vehicle's performance is tested, the driver's side controls are tested, and the engine's capabilities are measured. The Nissan Leaf is a battery-powered compact car manufactured by Nissan that has been in production since 2010 in 2 generations. It has been offered exclusively as a 5-door hatchback. The Leaf designation serves as a throwback name for the leading eco-friendly and affordable family car. So this was my trip inside Nissan's US factories, including one factory in Japan for comparison. Please let me know in the comments section how you liked this mini documentary of mine, and if you have any comments. Thank you for your time and see you soon.